Good morning. Today's April 3rd. I'm going to show you how I plant my garlic. Simple as that. These have been broken apart since last December when I successfully dried them off. I threw away about half because they were spoiled from too much rain this year. And so those are the ones that were deemed good enough to plant. These are the ones that we just use as we want. As you can see, they're not rotten, they're still good. Sometimes when you break them apart, that shortens their life. It didn't particularly this year. I made a very good, lovely tasting garlic powder this year. And as you can see, I really like it because this is last year's and I'm not finished with it. I'm right into this one. Growing garlic's really easy.
Coming out my back door, you can see that we have a very small yard, but that yard is full to the brim with food, basically. We got butternuts growing here, Valencia oranges, and eggplant down there. I've got these pulled up so that I had to pull them up so that I could get my my soil worked in to do the garlic, and they were here all along here. Lovely cherry tomatoes. As you can see, these butternuts are taken off. I have at least 15 of them. And then we have, that's also ready for the garlic, and the corn's just about finished. There's 3 more ears on the corn, but who's counting? My dragon fruit is doing better than it's ever done, but I digress. Let's plant some garlic. It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I always seem to have the biggest and best garlic. I can't exactly say why. I'd say part of the reason is the lovely compost we put in from our compost piles. So what I do is I just dig trenches like this, and then I plant them. And when I plant them, I'm planting them this distance apart, this distance apart. Okay, so I've planted these, planted inverted quotes. So you can see the distance I use. Now, sometimes when I've got a lot, look at how many I still have left over, I'll do a middle row and I'll put it in the middle of 5. So I'll go around and I will cover these up or stick them in deeper as I see fit. And that's looking good. All this compost, notice I took some out that's rotten. Not rotten enough, I mean. So that won't bother the garlic at all. Garlic is bothered by other plants, so I'll pull that out and transplant it. And it's bothered by too much moisture. Because these are raised beds, as you can see, it drains very well, and I think that's part of the success of these things, is that we get good garlic because we have it in raised beds. And they end up huge. That's a small one. This is a small garlic, but most of them are much bigger. Okay, now I'm on to the second side. I have left side and right side for garlic every year, and in between times I have vegetables like pumpkins still there and tomatoes. And so I trenched this. It took a half a minute to do that, and as you can see, my pumpkins have spread over where I keep all the junk, and they shouldn't have done that, but there they are, making nice butternuts for me. And so I'm going to put in 2 rows and probably a 3rd row. So what I do is I do them about a hand away like that, and then I'll put them diagonally a hand away. I'll show you. Look how perfect this clove is. If it's perfect like that and big and fat, then it's going to grow to a big and fat bulb, and that's what they all should be. Little ones, grind them up for your garlic powder. There you have it. They're all planted. There's 62 planted here, And I'm probably going to put in 5 more at the end, or 4 more at the end. We'll see. I've started to cover it up before I showed you how well spaced they are. And so I'm going to give this one watering, and then after that cover it up with some metal to keep it from the birds for a while. And then I'm going to do absolutely nothing until October, no, middle of November. I'm just watering them in. When I water them in, I usually have 2 hoses going at the same time, and I often use the timer. Like I'll say, hey Siri, set my alarm for 10 minutes. Now Siri's not going to do that now because I'm operating the video at the same time. But then I remember, and I won't leave it on like I did once before. So I'm just watering it in once, removing all the excess air pockets, and then I'm going to put metal, any kind of metal I have hanging around, on top of it, so the birds won't come in and get it. Then I'm going to pick some beans for dinner and some cucamelons. And on Wednesday, I'm picking eggplants. When I transplant my basil, so it doesn't die, I go very wide and then carefully reach underneath so I don't break the root. It's a big root. And then I stick it in here, and I go over and get the other one and do the same thing. And they live. So here you can see examples of ones I have transplanted over the past couple of weeks, all looking good. This one's not looking as good, but it's going to come around.